What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. I hope y'all have been enjoying that contest mode dungeon with the Vespers host. Have seen some people going through it. Looks absolutely like a blast. Wasn't able to play it yesterday, but gonna get some grind in today for sure. So hopefully y'all like this little video here on a weapon that I personally will be taking in there with the Sovereignty. This is a sniper rifle that we got this season right here. It is an adaptive frame, as you can see. The stats over there, it is a void burn, and we got some very interesting perks which I will cover, but we're gonna go over its origin trait right here with that Dark Ether Reaper. So final blows with the weapon periodically spawn Dark Ether charges. These charges detonate early with weapon fires or coming into contact with them. Doing so refills this weapon from reserves. That is one of the reasons why I like this for that dungeon. We got to stay far away from a lot of things, and you're basically getting an autofill when you have this procced, so you can get those two proc decently easy with just getting defeats with the weapon. It is super nice. Now, before we get into the god rolls, there's some new weapon mods that you can get from actually enhancing the weapon. Down here we have ballistics, which gives us +6 to both of these stats with range and stability. Tactical, same thing, +6 to reload handling. Anti-flinch for a little bit less flinch. Lower zoom, which I will personally be using this on the PvP god roll because I do think it is a very good sniper in PvP, but it needs a wee bit less zoom at that 45. I don't know how much it's going to change it, but personally, like what is going on here. Same concept, you can enhance the zoom on snipers. You've got synergy right here, which you can read it. We get a bunch of different things from this bad boy. Same thing with stun loader, basically refill from stun on champions. Heavy ammo enhancer gives us grants that heavy ammo finder in progress. So there's a lot of these perks that we can get from enhancing or shaped weapons. Very, very fun little change from Budsy this season, but we're going to be using this one, like I said, for PvP. All right, so now with all of that into place, going over the PvE god roll, I would use small bore as my barrel with a range masterwork as well as backup mag if you would like for your mod, but this gives us the best all around with that stability range, giving us some pretty high stats on this bad boy. Magazine, we got two different choices. Tactical mag is our first choice right here, so we can get the stats that you see. +10 to reload is definitely nice, plus that little extra stability never hurts inside of that PvE realm. You could also go with appended mag right here. Only gives us one extra shot in the magazine, so personally not worth it compared to tactical, but it is a good option as well. Now, third column, got a couple options right here. Explosive payload is a good option right here. Does some pretty good damage inside of the PvE realm. Might not be the craziest for the end game content, if you will, but it does very good with wiping out ads, is what I had on mine, and it did feel very good in my personal opinion. Nothing too crazy inside of these columns, I would say, for the PvE realm. You do have Dragonfly, which you could use for some ad clear potential with this weapon, but I really like explosive payload a little bit more. Plus, we got no distractions right here with that anti-flinch going on. Helps us to stay on that target when you're using this for some of that DPS options, getting them stuns on champions, whatever it may be. Last but not least, this is probably your best option for DPS in my personal opinion, because when you throw that grenade, you can reload. So with the magazine that you got, that backup magazine, you can have about 6 in there when you shoot. So you can shoot all 6 on an enemy, throw your grenade, and then shoot another 6. Definitely not bad for the DPS side of things. So I think I personally like either that explosive payload or demolitionist as my number one. 4 options here in this column. First off, we got desperate measures, giving us that little bit of damage bonus when we get defeats with it. Also, melee and grenade can stack larger bonuses, so a good little bit for if you're using something like that explosive payload, anything like that, even Dragonfly, you can get desperate measures to block with Dragonfly. Not a bad little combo. Personally, damage wise, this is probably the best one in my personal opinion. It is overall, at least, a precision instrument with that demo, so you can get those sustained damage, increases precision damage, so it's a pretty good little stacking ability, up to 25%. You can throw that grenade, reload, get that 25%, just keep on going. So it's, I like personally, but totally a preference of mine. Now, this one might be number one for its purpose. Aiming the weapon for a short time without firing gives it the ability to weaken its next target. Timer resets after firing or when you stop ADSing. So a very, very interesting little concept here, so we can weaken enemies just with a gun. You don't have to use a subclass to weaken enemies. So if you're using this and your teammates are DPSing, the weapon itself with the sniper doing stuff like that will be not too shabby with damage anyways, but having the withering, being able to apply that weakening to a target, you switch to your heavy, they do DPS, is going to be pretty nutty and interesting to see what kind of combos we can get with this. Then last is firing line. You get that damage boost with 2 allies in a 15-meter radius, 20% to precision, so that's why I personally like precision instrument a little bit more. You're getting that 25% damage increase to those precision shots instead of 20, and you don't have to be next to enemies. So DPS, if you're doing the DPS, precision instrument is number 1, but that withering gaze probably the second best one, because you can weaken any target of your choosing, mini bosses, bosses, champions, all with just one single shot, and then do damage on it. So it's pretty nice little combo, my opinion. I'm gonna give this thing a nice juicy 4.6, maybe even a 4.7 inside of the PvE realm. I personally like it. Like I said, gonna grind out my dungeon runs today with this bad boy, so very excited to see what happens with it. Now, when we move on to PvP, this thing, in my opinion, was feeling super crispy. I liked it besides the zoom being at 45. I do wish it was a little bit lower, so that's why I am gonna throw on that marksman optic, that new weapon mod where it lowers the magnification by 2. Very much like that. And then range as my masterwork with small bore as my barrel, giving us that range and stability. Could go with that hammer forged if you want for +3 in the range. It would be +10 to range, I guess, overall, but you don't get the stability boost, so not really worth it in my personal opinion. Definitely the goated perk right here that you want is the accurate rounds at +10 to range. Gives us 71 in range with this bad boy, so it feels very crispy in that reason alone, because of the bullet magnetism, if you will, because that's how snipers work. The higher the range, I'm pretty sure, the better that bullet magnetism feels, so definitely like accurized. Couple options in the third column, interesting ones, but one is definitely my favorite. Discord is a very good perk, probably my second favorite, but final blows with other weapons grant this weapon speed for ADS, accuracy, and airborne effectiveness, so it definitely helps out a sniper quite a bit in my personal opinion. And if you're using a hand cannon, SMG, pulse rifles, which reign supreme still for sure in my personal opinion. Auto rifles have been getting a lot more use this season that I noticed as well, but you can get a lot of kills piled up, get Discord to proc very easily, and then switch to your sniper and you get a lot of benefits. My personal favorite one though was no distractions, which would be my number 1. So aiming this weapon for a short period gives me a little bit less flinch. My personal opinion, flinch definitely is pretty big inside of the Crucible. This helped a lot, reducing it by 35%, so it definitely helps, but that Discord is a close second. Last in the third column is steady hand kills. Provide improved handling for a weapon for a short duration, so if you got a couple shots, get that headshot, get a defeat, you're able to hot swap between this and your other weapon decently quick. This would be my last option for sure, with our other two being way better. Discord as my second, no distractions as number 1. Now the combination of Discord and Harmony, absolutely disgusting. It definitely would be a very good option, probably ties as the number 1 option in my personal opinion with what I liked a little bit better, but final blows with other weapons improve damage for a short time, so it is pretty nice to pair that with Discord, where we're getting that nice enhanced basically every other stat besides damage. So crazy combo, definitely very good. Last option and my personal favorite is that no distraction with box breathing. Aiming this weapon for a short time without firing grants bonus range and precision damage. Not that we really need that extra precision damage, but the range feels very nice with the reduced flinch at 35% from no distractions. It is super nice in my personal opinion, plus that extra precision damage can take out some of those supers in one single headshot because of that extra damage, so definitely don't sleep on that combinations. But I would definitely be looking for the combination of either no distractions with box breathing or Discord with Harmony. Absolutely two goated combos. I'm gonna give this this thing again, probably a 4-7 inside of the PvP. I was absolutely railing kids with it. What did he say? I mean, he was absolutely just taking people's heads off with it. It was disgusting. My personal opinion, felt very, very crispy. Got 10 defeats with it in just one single match, so it was feeling super, super, super nice. So really appreciate you guys for coming back to the channel. Hopefully you like that tonic guide I put up. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Be up in the left-hand corner at the beginning and right now, so be prepared for a lot of content coming out, a lot of guides here. I'm going to put out a dungeon guide as well for all y'all after I get my clear today. Hopefully get that icebreaker and that nice fancy contest emblem. But again, appreciate all you guys. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.